All right, so we're diving into some pretty specialized waters today, getting ready for an Aquaculture Mooring Manager interview.
Oh, yeah.
And to help us navigate, we've got a whole stack of resources from RoleCatcher.
That's a great resource for this kind of deep dive. It really helps you prepare.
Exactly. We're going to be exploring some potential interview questions and how to really nail those answers. And of course, we're going to sprinkle in some career insights along the way.
And of
I'll
course,
show you how RoleCatcher's AI can give you an extra edge in your prep.
oh, it's like a secret weapon.
Okay, so before we jump into the questions, let's just paint a picture of what an aquaculture mooring manager actually does, because it's a lot more than just anchors and chains.
Right. It is way more. Think of it this way. They're the ones responsible for ensuring those massive fish cages stay right where they should be,
Right.
no matter what the ocean throws at them.
Oh, wow.
So we're talking current storms, you name it. These managers have to be ready for it all.
So safety, efficiency, and of course, making sure those operations are sustainable. It's a big responsibility.
Absolutely. And that's why interviewers are going to be looking for some very key skills.
Yeah,
Problem solving is a huge one. I mean, you're dealing with the forces of nature.
right.
Then you've got communication because you need to be able to explain these complicated plans to your team and to stakeholders who might not have that technical background.
And RoleCatcher's guides actually emphasize knowledge of biology and food production.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting because it shows just how interconnected this role really is.
It's true. It's not just engineering. It's understanding the impact on the fish and the environment.
It's a whole ecosystem.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's dive into some of those interview questions.
Let's do it.
RoleCatcher has a ton of them, and I think walking through these will help anyone who's listening feel a lot more prepared.
For sure.
Let's start with something pretty basic but important. Can you explain your experience with mooring systems?
So even with a basic question like that, you want to make sure you're showing the depth of your knowledge.
Oh.
So don't just list off the types of systems you've worked with. Explain the design principles, the challenges each system presents,
Yeah.
how you adapted your approach based on the environment, or even the species being farmed.
So it's about showing that you're not just a technician, you really understand the how and the why behind those mooring systems.
Exactly. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful.
Oh, so
You can actually input the specific job description into the system, and it'll highlight those keywords and skills that the employer is emphasizing.
wow.
So if they're mentioning innovative mooring solutions in the description,
Yeah.
you want to focus on that aspect of your experience.
Oh, that's smart. So it's like having a custom roadmap for every interview.
It really is.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What about follow-up call-ins? Let's say they dig a little deeper and they ask, how do you ensure that those mooring systems are properly maintained and inspected?
So here's where you want to highlight your proactive approach.
Yep.
Mention any protocols that you've developed or implemented, like regular dive inspections or even using underwater ROVs.
Wow.
You could even talk about predictive maintenance based on sensor data.
That's high tech.
It is.
So it's not just about ticking boxes, it's about showing you're thinking ahead and constantly trying to find ways to improve.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to mention any challenges you've faced and how you overcame them.
Okay.
Maybe you had to implement a new inspection regime, but you had limited resources.
Right.
Or you had to convince stakeholders that they needed more frequent maintenance.
Yeah.
Those are great examples of your problem-solving skills in action.
Oh, for sure. Okay, let's move on to a question that might seem a bit intimidating. Can you describe your experience with regulatory compliance in aquaculture mooring?
This one is all about showing, the rules of the game.
Oh.
Don't just say you're familiar with regulations, name specific ones, like the standards set by local environmental agencies or international organizations like the FAO.
Right.
Talk about how you stay up to date on those changes
Yeah.
and how you've ensured compliance in your previous roles.
So be specific and show that you take compliance seriously.
Absolutely. And if you've had any experience dealing with permits or working with regulatory bodies, that's definitely worth mentioning.
Okay.
It shows you understand the complexities of operating in this industry.
Okay, so here's one that I think a lot of people dread.
Hmm.
Can you describe a time you had to troubleshoot a problem with a mooring system?
Ah, the classic behavioral question.
Oh.
Everyone gets nervous about these, but they're actually a fantastic opportunity to shine.
Okay.
Remember, the interviewer isn't looking for a perfect story. They want to see how you think and how you approach those challenges.
So how do you pick the right story to tell?
Choose a situation that showcases your assessment skills. how you gather information, and how you come up with a solution.
Okay.
And ideally one that demonstrates those key skills we talked about earlier, like maybe a storm-damaged part of the mooring system. And you had to quickly assess the risks, coordinate with your team, and implement a temporary fix,
Right.
but still ensuring the safety of the fish and your crew.
So you're painting that vivid picture, walking them through your thought process, and
Yeah.
highlighting how you use your skills to resolve that situation.
Exactly. And don't forget the lessons learned,
Oh, yeah.
even if the outcome wasn't perfect.
Right.
Being able to reflect on what you would do differently next time shows maturity and a willingness to grow.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say they follow up with, what steps do you take to prevent similar problems from happening in the future?
This is your chance to highlight those proactive and analytical skills. Maybe you implemented a new monitoring system, revised your maintenance protocols, or even developed a training program for your team
Right.
to improve their response to those situations.
So you're not just reacting, you're constantly thinking of how to improve and mitigate those risks.
Exactly.
I like it. And here's another tip.
Yeah.
Use RoleCatcher's AI to practice answering these types of questions.
Oh, that's a good one.
The AI can actually analyze your response, identify any areas for improvement, and even give you feedback on your tone and delivery.
Oh, wow.
It's like having a virtual mock interview.
It is, and it can be so helpful for getting comfortable with the process.
That's a game changer, especially for those who get nervous during interviews. Okay, ready for another question?
Yeah, bring it on.
How about this one? How do you ensure the safety of workers during mooring system installation and maintenance?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Safety is really the top priority in this role, so your answer should definitely reflect that.
Okay.
You want to go beyond just mentioning safety gear and protocols.
Okay.
Talk about creating a culture of safety where everyone feels empowered to speak up. You know,
Yeah.
if they see a potential hazard,
Right.
you could describe specific training programs,
Okay.
maybe even highlight ones that go above and beyond the industry standards.
So you're demonstrating that you're not just following the rules, you're actually creating a safe working environment.
Exactly. You could mention things like regular safety audits,
Right.
or toolbox talks to discuss specific hazards,
Oh, yeah.
even incentivizing those safe practices.
That's cool.
If you've implemented new safety technologies like wearable sensors that monitor fatigue
Oh, wow.
or proximity to hazards, that's a real plus.
It shows you're on top of those advancements.
Exactly.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Can you describe your experience working with contractors and subcontractors in aquaculture mooring?
Collaboration is really key here.
Okay.
So highlight your experience in clearly defining the work,
Okay.
managing expectations, and making sure everyone's on the same page.
Right.
If you've had to resolve any conflicts
Mm-hmm.
or, negotiate tricky situations, those are good examples to share.
It shows you can handle those interpersonal dynamics,
Right.
which are so important in a management role.
Exactly. And don't just focus on the technical side. Talk about building those relationships with the contractors,
Okay.
fostering open communication. You want to create an environment where everyone feels valued.
Okay, so now for the question everyone's thinking about. How do you manage the budget for mooring system installation and maintenance?
Oh, this is where you show off your financial skills.
Right.
Talk about developing budgets, tracking those expenses,
Right.
identifying opportunities to save money.
So,
Maybe you've negotiated a good contract with suppliers,
right.
implemented a preventative maintenance program to reduce those long-term costs,
Right.
or you've found creative ways to reuse materials.
So it's about being smart with the money and strategically managing those resources.
Absolutely. And be prepared to discuss how you prioritize spending,
Okay.
especially if you're facing a budget crunch.
Right.
Can you give an example of a time when you had to make a tough decision to balance the cost with safety or efficiency?
Right.
That's a real test of leadership.
Okay, let's tackle another big one. Can you describe your experience with project management in aquaculture mooring?
This is your time to shine and show you can plan, execute, and deliver results. So pick a project that highlights your skills,
Okay.
like a large-scale installation, a complex repair, or even developing a new mooring protocol.
Right.
Walk them through the phases, highlighting your role in each one.
And don't be afraid to get specific mention the methodologies you used,
Right.
like agile or waterfall,
Exactly.
and briefly explain what those are for the listener.
Yep.
Any project management software that you're proficient in,
Yes.
and any key metrics that you track to make sure you're successful.
Absolutely.
It's all about showing you have that structured approach to managing complex projects.
It is.
And it's a good time to highlight any awards or recognition you've received for those project management skills.
Oh, absolutely. It adds credibility.
Okay.
Shows your work has been recognized.
Now let's move on to a question that's really crucial in a field that's constantly evolving. How do you stay up to date on new technologies and advancements in mooring systems?
This is where you show you're a lifelong learner.
Okay.
And you're passionate about staying ahead. So don't just list journals or websites, talk about technologies that you're excited about.
Okay.
Maybe something like bio-based materials for mooring lines.
Oh, cool.
Or even AI-powered monitoring systems.
That's high tech.
It is!
So you're not just reading about this stuff, you're actively thinking about how it can be applied to improve those mooring systems.
Exactly. If you've implemented any new technologies in your previous roles, mention that.
Okay.
It's proof of your innovation.
And speaking of innovation, RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze those job descriptions and tell you exactly what skills and keywords to put in your CV and your cover letter.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's like having a personalized coach, helping you tailor your application to each specific role.
It is. It's incredibly helpful, especially if you're applying for multiple jobs.
That's such a good point. Okay, ready for another question?
I am. Bring it on.
Okay. Can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision related to mooring systems?
This is another behavioral question that's meant to test your decision-making process under pressure. Oh, okay.
So choose a situation that shows your ability to weigh the different factors.
Okay.
Consider those risks.
Right.
And make a decision that aligns with your values and your priorities.
So it could be something like deciding whether to delay a critical installation because of bad weather.
Yeah.
Even if it means missing a deadline.
Exactly. Walk the interviewer through your thought process.
Okay.
What information did you gather? Who did you consult with?
Okay.
How did you weigh those potential consequences of each option?
Right.
And most importantly, what did you learn from that?
It's about showing that you can make those tough calls, but remain calm, rational, and focused on the best outcome for everyone involved.
Exactly. And now let's talk about something that's often overlooked, body language and nonverbal communication.
Oh, okay.
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze video recordings of you practicing your interviews.
Oh.
Give you feedback on things like your posture, your eye contact, even the tone of your voice.
Seriously, that's amazing. It's like having your own acting coach. It really is, and it can make a big difference in how you come across.
That's so true. Nonverbal cues are just as important as what you say.
They are.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on to the next section, I want to touch on something that RoleCatcher highlights in their career. Guide the importance of networking.
Networking is crucial in any field, but it's really valuable in a specialized industry like this one.
Right.
You know, attending conferences, joining professional organizations, connecting with people on LinkedIn are all great ways to build those relationships, learn about job opportunities, and stay informed about industry trends.
It's about being proactive and putting yourself out there.
Absolutely, and you never know who you might meet or what opportunities could come from a simple conversation.
So we've covered a lot on interview questions. Let's talk about the career path and see where this role could take you. RoleCatcher's Career Guide for Aquaculture Mooring Managers lays out a clear progression from entry level all the way up to senior management.
It's a roadmap for your career.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. What's a typical entry point into this field?
It often starts with a role as an aquaculture mooring assistant.
Okay.
This is where you get your hands dirty assisting with installations.
Right.
Learning the ropes.
Literally.
Oh, yeah, literally. Observing those experienced technicians and supervisors.
So a lot of hands-on learning and observing the experts in action.
Absolutely. A great way to gain experience and build that foundational knowledge.
Okay.
And from there, you can progress to become an aquaculture mooring technician.
All right. So what does a technician do on a day-to-day basis?
So as a technician, you'd be independently mooring the cages.
Okay.
Operating and maintaining those large-scale systems.
Right.
And managing those challenging environmental conditions.
That we talked about earlier.
Yeah, you'll really put those problem-solving skills to the test.
Yeah. It sounds like you're taking on more responsibility and independence at this stage.
Exactly. And you'd be working a lot more closely with those complex mooring systems, troubleshooting issues and making sure everything runs smoothly.
So it's a crucial role in keeping those operations efficient and safe. What comes after the technician level?
Well, with experience and a strong track record, you could become an aquaculture mooring supervisor.
Okay. And what are the key responsibilities of a supervisor?
So you would oversee the mooring operations of multiple cages.
Okay.
Develop strategies to optimize efficiency and safety.
Okay.
Conduct regular inspections and maintenance.
Okay.
You'd also be starting to manage a team.
So you're stepping into a leadership role,
Exactly.
guiding and mentoring others. What skills are essential for success at this level?
Strong communication and interpersonal skills become even more important
Right.
because you'll be leading a team resolving conflicts,
Yeah.
motivating others to perform at their best.
Okay.
You'll also need a deep understanding of the mooring systems.
Right.
Be able to make those informed decisions about maintenance, repairs, upgrades.
So it's challenging but rewarding.
It is.
What's the ultimate goal in this career path?
At the top of the mountain, the Aquaculture Mooring Manager.
We've come full circle,
Exactly.
back to where we started.
As a manager, you're responsible for the big picture,
Right?
overseeing all the mooring operations across multiple sites,
Okay.
developing comprehensive strategies, managing budgets,
Okay.
ensuring regulatory compliance,
Okay.
leading a team of supervisors and technicians.
Wow, you're responsible for the whole shebang.
Pretty much. It's a tough job with a lot of responsibility, but it's also incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
You're at the helm, guiding your team, and ensuring the success of the whole operation.
It's a position that requires a unique blend of that technical expertise leadership and a passion for sustainable aquaculture.
It does, and as the aquaculture industry continues to grow, the demand for skilled aquaculture mooring managers is going to keep increasing.
So lots of opportunities.
There will be tons of opportunities for advancement.
That's exciting for anyone considering this as a career path. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about something that can give you a real edge in the job market, those specialized certifications. RoleCatcher highlights a few that are really relevant, right?
They do, and one that really stands out is the Aquaculture Facility Operator Certification.
Okay.
It covers a really wide range of topics, from fish health and water quality to biosecurity and environmental management.
So it shows potential employers you have a broad understanding of the entire operation,
Exactly.
not just the mooring side.
It demonstrates your commitment to best practices and your dedication to the whole industry.
And I bet it opens up doors to more job opportunities.
It does. Employers look for candidates who go above and beyond,
Yeah.
enhance their skills, and certifications are a great way to show that.
It's a signal that you're serious about your career.
Exactly.
Okay.
And invested in professional development.
Speaking of which, RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of continuous learning in their career guide.
Continuous learning is crucial in every field, but it's super important in a dynamic industry like aquaculture,
Right.
where new technologies and practices are always emerging.
So how can someone stay ahead of the curve?
Well, RoleCatcher suggests attending conferences, workshops, joining professional organizations,
Okay.
subscribing to industry publications.
That's right.
These are all great ways to connect with others, learn about the latest trends,
Yeah.
gain new insights.
It's about being proactive
Yeah.
and making that conscious effort to expand your knowledge and skills. What about online courses and webinars? Are those valuable?
Those are super valuable.
Okay.
They're convenient, affordable way to stay current and learn new things.
Right.
Plus, a lot of them offer certifications,
Oh, cool.
which can boost your resume.
So there are a lot of options, tons, online and offline, to help you stay ahead of the game. Now, let's talk about another important aspect of career development: mentorship.
Mentorship can be so valuable early in your career. Finding someone more experienced who can guide you, support you, give you advice can make a huge difference.
So how can someone find a mentor in the aquaculture industry?
Again, networking is key.
Okay.
Attending events, joining those professional organizations, connecting on LinkedIn.
Right.
Don't be afraid to reach out to someone you admire or who works for a company you're interested in.
Or just for it. It's all about building those relationships,
It is.
seeking guidance from those who have already walked that path.
Exactly. And a good mentor can provide those invaluable insights, advice, and support.
Okay. Now let's talk big picture. The future of the aquaculture industry and the role you as a potential aquaculture mooring manager could play in shaping that future.
Oh, I love this part.
Me too.
The aquaculture industry is ready for some serious growth,
Yeah.
driven by things like the rising global demand for seafood, concerns about overfishing,
Right.
the need for sustainable food.
It's a field with a lot of promise and potential.
Absolutely. And as it grows, so will the demand for those skilled aquaculture mooring managers.
Oh, that's great.
It's an exciting time to be entering this field.
Okay, so what are some of the key trends and challenges that will shape the future of aquaculture mooring?
One of the biggest is climate change.
Okay.
You've got rising sea levels, ocean acidification, more frequent and intense storms.
Wow.
All of that will impact mooring systems
All right.
and require innovative solutions to ensure safety and stability.
So resilience and adaptability will be crucial.
Absolutely. They'll need to be able to anticipate and respond to these challenges,
Right.
developing those new technologies and strategies to mitigate risks and ensure sustainability.
What about the role of technology? How will that impact the future?
Technology is already playing a big role,
Yeah.
and it's only going to grow. We're seeing advancements in things like sensor technology, data analytics, artificial intelligence.
Cool.
All of that can improve the design, the monitoring, and the maintenance of those systems.
So it's constantly evolving
It is.
and embracing those new technologies.
Exactly. And if you're passionate about innovation, this is an exciting time to be an aquaculture mooring.
Now, before we move on to our final thoughts, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, salary information.
The all-important question.
Exactly. RoleCatcher's data shows that aquaculture mooring managers can earn a pretty decent salary, especially with experience in moving up the ranks.
Absolutely. The salary range can vary depending on things like location, company size, level of responsibility.
But overall, it's a career that offers a good earning potential, which is an important consideration.
It is. It's good to know that you can follow a career you love and make a good living at the same time.
Absolutely. Now, let's wrap up with some final thoughts. We've covered a lot today.
We have.
Exploring the role of an aquaculture mooring manager.
Uh-huh.
The skills, the interview process, the career path, the future of the industry.
It's been a very comprehensive overview. I hope it's helped anyone considering this career.
So to our listeners, if you're fascinated by the ocean, if you're driven by a desire to make a difference, and you're ready to take on a challenging and rewarding career, then becoming an aquaculture mooring manager might just be the perfect path for you.
And RoleCatcher is here to help
Yes.
every step of the way.
With their AI-powered tools, their career guides their salary information.
It's like having a personal career coach right there.
It really is. RoleCatcher can really make a difference in helping you land your dream job and build that successful career in aquaculture.
It's an invaluable resource for anyone who is serious about this growing and impactful industry.
So what are you waiting for? Dive in, explore those possibilities, and see where this exciting career path can take you.
It sounds like you're saying this isn't just a job, it's a chance to be part of something bigger.
Exactly. You're contributing to a more sustainable food system
Right.
and helping to address those challenges facing our planet.
It's something to be excited about.
And as we've talked about, the role of an aquaculture mooring manager is multifaceted, demanding a blend of technical expertise, leadership, and that forward-thinking mindset.
It's a career for those who are energized by problem solving, who enjoy working in a dynamic environment, and are passionate about making a difference.
And remember, we've just scratched the surface here.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher provides even more resources to help you dive deeper.
They do.
Their AI can even help you refine your answers to those tricky interview questions,
Oh, it's fantastic.
giving you that competitive edge.
That extra edge.
It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket.
It really is.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with this thought. Don't underestimate the power of preparation.
Oh, that's so important.
The more you know, the more confident you'll feel going into that interview.
Exactly. And don't forget to showcase your passion.
Oh, yeah.
Let your enthusiasm shine through. That's what will make you stand out.
Passion is contagious, and it can make all the difference.
It really can.
Well, I think we've equipped our listener with everything they need to make a splash in their Aquaculture Mooring Manager interview.
I agree. They're ready to navigate those waters.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Aquaculture Mooring Managers.
It's been fun.
I hope you found it informative and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Inspiring for sure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning,
Keep pushing those boundaries.
and remember, the future of sustainable food production is waiting to be shaped.
And you can be a part of it. Yeah. It
Yeah.
really is like you're contributing to something much bigger, you know?
All right, it's not just a job.
Yeah.
It's a chance to really make a difference.
Exactly.
And like we said, the role of an aquaculture mooring manager,
Yeah.
it's multifaceted.
Uh-huh.
You need those technical skills, that leadership,
For
that
safety.
forward-thinking mindset.
You got to think ahead.
It's a career for people who are energized by solving problems, who enjoy that dynamic environment, and who are really passionate about making a real difference in the world. And remember, we've only just scratched the surface here.
Yeah, just a taste.
RoleCatcher has even more resources to help you dive deeper into specific aspects of this role,
Oh, yeah, they have a ton of information.
the industry, the whole career path.
It's a great resource.
And their AI can even help you, like we said, refine those answers to those tough interview questions we went over,
It's such a great tool.
giving you that edge.
It's a game changer.
It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket.
Right there with you.
So as we wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with this thought. Don't underestimate the power of preparation.
So important.
The more you know about the role, the company, the industry, the more confident you're going to feel walking into that interview room.
And don't forget to showcase your passion.
Yes, let that shine through.
Let them see your enthusiasm.
Yeah, because that can make all the difference.
It really can.
All right, well, I think we've given our listeners everything they need to make a splash in their Aquaculture Mooring Manager interview.
Absolutely. I think they're ready to go.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of aquaculture mooring managers. We hope you found it informative, insightful, and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Inspiring, for sure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this field.
And remember, the future of sustainable food production is out there waiting to be shaped.
And you could be a part of it.
Yeah.